So,
Guys, we are in a crazy time and it's only October 1st. What we have here is, hmm, what we have here is a crazy, crazy time, right? We are talking about the end of the world, potentially. We are talking about massive things happening in the US right now. But not the US really. Like the US is like secondary. Israel is primary. Dude, everything that's going on in Israel right now is absolutely insane. What is happening in Israel? We are seeing the barrage of missiles coming in through Israel, through from Iran to Israel, and we're seeing so much damage taking place. We don't know exactly what that looks like as far as the next day, the next week, the next month. We know that Israel may be going in all-out war. This is scary, guys. We are going to find ourselves in a place where we may be in World War III. And that is unfortunate because we need leadership right now in this country. We need somebody who's going to step up to stop this nonsense from continuing on. We are going to look at a few news sources today. We're going to be talking about the debate that is happening, that just happened, actually. We're going to be talking about maybe the things that they had said, right? And yeah, this is just crazy. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get started here because, man, there's just so much on the forefront of what we're looking at in front of us. And how does this all tie in to the bigger picture, the title of this story, right? The end of the world. How does it tie in together? Well, it ties in because we are told in the Bible, right? We're told in the Bible that in the last days, there's going to be a crazy amount of things that are going to happen, right? We're seeing many wars and rumors of wars. Okay, we're seeing rumors of wars of a World War III. Israel and Iran are really just going at it. And Iran, if you don't know this sort of understanding between Israel and Iran is always attacked from proxies. Now, me, not knowing politics that much and terms and geopolitics of a region, I didn't know what proxies were not too long ago. This was maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. But now understanding proxies of a country, where they're utilizing their proxies in order to attack Israel. So Iran's proxies are Hezbollah and Hamas, along with many others, right? But they will usually attack with their proxies, not directly from Iran. Now, we saw them attack in April, and then now they're attacking today, October 1st. They're launching rockets more than they did in April, okay? More than they did then. It's dozens more. Some reports are saying 400, 300. I've seen as little as 100. That's from the beginning of the day, at least today here in America. In their time, we're seeing probably around 400, maybe plus, of missiles that have flown into Israel, and many that have struck in land ground in Israel in various places. But reports from the IDF are saying that the Iron Dome has intercepted many of them. And so that's good news because we want to pray for the people of Israel, want to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, right? Because it's important. The Bible tells us to do so. The Bible tells us certain things to do. We must follow what the Bible says. So let's just look at right away what's happening in Israel right now. So it says here, Iron Dome in action. Israel intercepts ballistic missiles from Iran. Look, we're seeing, this is the one that I actually saw on Instagram. Look at that. That is insane. My goodness. Now, the reports were, my goodness, the reports were that these rockets were they traveled over 1,000 miles in 11 minutes. That is fast. Now, there were some reports that were saying that the Iron Dome wasn't really intercepting some of these rockets. But as it looks, and reports from the IDF saying that they were successful, okay? But we're seeing so much happen in the Middle East right now. Man, that must be so scary. Now, reports are saying that they were launching attacks to Israel's military base. So much is going on, right? There was an attack on Israel, right, in Tel Aviv, a mass shooting that went down in Tel Aviv, and they reported that, and then soon after that, we see these rockets being fired into Israel. Now, we've got headline upon headline of these attacks that are going on. We see U.S. Navy used destroyers to take out some of Iran's missiles. Now, let's see here. Sorry for that. Let's see what this is here. This is, oh, wow. I'm offline, huh? Yeah, right. This was over 5 hours ago, so. We know that there's just so much that is going to happen in the next couple of days. And, oh man, this is just so crazy. Think about it. I mean, they're launching rockets directly from Iran. Now, time will tell to see exactly what they will do, but they've been promising for months that they were going to retaliate against Ismail Haniyeh's death. And yet, finally, they're retaliating after Hassan Nasrallah and his death. They're barely retaliating, and they have been promising, right? But I believe their new president, I wouldn't say new president. It's another person that stepped in in maybe it is a president. You know what? Somebody's got to fact check me on that. But there's a new guy that has been saying, hey, we're going to retaliate, right? But they have been holding off and holding off and holding off. And Hezbollah and Hamas have been asking Iran to step in, but they have continually had told them, no, we're not going to step in at this time. You're on your own. Sorry. That's what they've been saying. And that's crazy. Here we have let's see, we're not going to go there. Not to that page. I'm going to say here, CBS News does a little bit of this is voter reactions. What do you guys think about the debate? Do you guys think that it went well on your candidate's side? I think just the sheer amount of craziness that was shared. I watched it just trying to recollect my thoughts of everything that happened. Vance was very well prepared in answering, the questions that they gave. Waltz, it was a bit of a disaster, especially when they asked him about Hong Kong. He just didn't know what to say. He didn't know how to answer, right? This is ABC4 Utah. Recap. Yeah, so we're coming up on November. We're just around the corner, and when that election happens, we're gonna see exactly what. Look at Tim Walt's face right there. He looks surprised. We're seeing so much happening. What in the world can Americans? Well, actually, yes. So I've been having videos like this of reacting to Kamala. I think I have 2 of them that I have posted on my channel. You can go ahead and check that out. There's 2 videos that I've reacted to of Kamala Harris. One that Donald Trump had used for his ad campaign and kind of roasting her in that manner on some things that she has said about Bidenomics. And then I basically posted a video of Kamala saying some really weird stuff, just completely, what is even the word? Idiotic. Kamala was completely just, what can I say? So in those 2 videos, you can go watch them. I don't want to say them because she was cursing in the video. And so what she said then, okay. Now, fast forward to the comments that I reviewed, we saw a lot of comments of saying, basically replying to my video title, which was, do you really want her as your president? And many of them were saying, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, 100% yes. Can you guys honestly say you want her as your president, and why do you want her as your president? Go ahead and leave a live chat. I'd like to respond to you live. Let me know what you guys really admire about her. What has she done that has been successful in this country? We'll go ahead and talk about that right now if you like, but this is a conversation to have, right? We can disagree to agree on a lot of things, but we need to focus on the politics that are going to increase our way of living, right? That are going to better our economy, that put the Americans first and not ones who are coming in illegally, right? And giving them priority. That's not cool. Especially those who've been working very hard for citizenship. Okay, that's like a big fat blow to those kind of people. And so, man, yeah, we've got the debate that's happening, right? Israel has gone into Lebanon. That was also something that they were talking about doing and invading into Lebanon to take out key targets. Now, what is the retaliation that is going to happen from here on out? The retaliation is going to be absolutely insane because Iran has declared war. I mean, they've been in a war for the longest. Like, how could Iran how could they not be in a war? How could we not say that they're in a war already? Could we say that there's actually World War III, that we're in World War III right now? I would say so. Why is that? Because America is now involved in this Middle Eastern war. Iran, Russia, okay, Israel, of course, many other countries that are supporting Iran. Okay, there is so much going on behind the scenes that we don't even see. Right? We got this interaction between China and Russia. That is crazy. Okay. Let's see if we can talk about. They basically, there was some news about China that I want to get to. And there's just some more news on that forefront. Okay, there's so much that is happening here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about everything that's going down? You guys think that we're at the end of the world, right? What about if we just pull out what the Bible says for now? Okay, we're going to go through what the Bible says here in the book of Matthew. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see exactly what we're talking about here. What I'm trying to point out to you, okay, and that is the fact that we are in the last days. We've been in the last days since the church began, right? The persecution that is arising more and more to the Jews and to the Christians. Okay, we're seeing here Matthew 24, it says, "And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for him to show the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See you not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down." That was a prediction, and it was fulfilled later in 70 AD when they destroyed the temple, and they actually took, every scrap of gold off of that temple. Okay? And this would have been, I think, 470 AD. Who was that king? I forget what king that is. Here it says, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world?" That is something that we're discussing today, right now. When is the end of the world? When is the signs of your coming? Okay. And the first thing that he says, what's the first thing that he says? Right here he says, "And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." Now, nation against nation is not the nation that you would think about, not like U.S. versus China. Okay, it's not that type of nation. The word nation there is actually ethnos. And ethnos means ethnicity. When you translate those words, you get ethnicity. Okay, we're seeing the war of ethnicities right now. It's been happening. And the kingdoms against kingdoms, there we have it, right? The various kingdoms around the world, the famines that have been happening, the pestilence, the earthquakes. I mean, gosh, we're seeing so many more earthquakes as of late. Very big ones, 4, 6, 7, right? And then we have this thing that is happening in North Carolina. Was it North Carolina, right? Flooding in Asheville, North Carolina. I mean, let's look at the devastation. From Helen. Man. That's crazy.
Damage for themselves. We also saw restoration crews that were from as far away as Texas, from all over here in town. They're staying in an area called.
Now it's also funny in the sense that I'm not saying that the North Carolina damage is funny and everything that's happening. Unfortunately, that's what is going on right there. But I'm saying like the way that the president is handling it is just hilarious in the worst possible way, right? In his response to this. Here's his response to this nonsense.
Mr. President, in retrospect, do you wish that you would put more resources in North Carolina, knowing what you know now? And do you wish that you spent the weekend here in Washington rather than in Delaware?
Come on, stop that game, will you? Rather than Delaware, it's 90 miles from here, okay? And I was on the phone the whole time working on that. And the resources, the question is not whether we get more, this is a list of every resource we're getting in there, but the question is how to get it in. It's hard to get it from point A to point B. It's hard to get it, some of these roads are wiped out, communities are wiped out. There's no ability to land. There's no ability to get trucks through. There's no ability to get a whole range of things through. So, I mean, anyway.
Mr. President,
When I sound frustrated, I am.
can you talk a little bit about
So at that point, we saw Biden just saying what is 90 miles from there. He's been traveling, right, and no problem. But when it comes to traveling to North Carolina, he wants nothing to do with that, right? Absolutely nothing to do with that. And then we have port strikes that are looming, right? We actually heard that they were going to strike here on the midnight, October 1st. And the delays that are going to happen as a result of, or the implications of them delaying, right? Every day that they have this strike will cost the economy $5 billion, right? I've heard reports of up to $5.5 billion in economic damages. Now, we've seen some in, what they're basically protesting for and they're striking for is protection from automation, right? And they're looking for a 77% wage increase. Now, this is apparently really aggressive. I would agree. It's a pretty aggressive pay increase. I don't work as a longshoreman. I don't know the ins and outs of this, but I do understand that they want protection from autonomy, right? Because we're seeing a lot of jobs being removed because of autonomy. And so I understand that aspect. Now let's look at what's going on. Let's see what exactly is happening here with the port strike.
We're following major developing story at ports here in our area and all along the East Coast. When the clock strikes 12:01 a.m. tonight, tens of thousands of dock workers may walk off the job. We are following the very latest out of Port of New York and New Jersey right now. And if that strike happens, the impact would be felt throughout the country as delays in the supply chain result in higher costs for consumers. New Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson live in Bayonne with more. Anthony.
Yeah, the clock is already ticking down as port operations are going to be shutting down at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Now, major business leaders all across the country are asking the White House to get involved. It was a busy day at the port with one of the last big cargo ships pulling out before 3 p.m. The strike is expected to begin at 12:01 a.m. Tuesday. In a statement, the International Longshoremen's Association, or the ILA, states that the U.S. Maritime Alliance is blocking the path to a master contract. This could cripple ports from Maine to Texas, and local leaders are preparing for the worst.
There are medical supplies that we're concerned about and making sure that all of our hospital and medical facilities have properly stockpiled. Again, the food supply is secure right now, and we'll be certainly communicating with the public as this unfolds.
We understand the Maritime Alliance is offering a 40% pay increase, but the Longshoremen's Union is asking for a whopping 70% pay hike. The union claims that foreign shippers are making boatloads of money off the hard-working backs of the longshoremen. They also are seeking better health coverage. The Port Authority says contingency plans have been underway for over a week.
We do anticipate that a significant number of containers will remain stored at the port, close to 100,000, but they will be stored safely at the port for whatever duration of the strike.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is now calling on the Biden administration to invoke the Taft-Hartley Act, forcing dock workers to stay on the job while negotiations continue. The letter reads in part, Americans experience the pain of delays and shortages of goods during the pandemic-era supply chain backlogs in 2021. It would be unconscionable to allow a contract dispute to inflict such a shock to our economy.
Well,
Yeah, and some 35 container ships are...
that is the point of it all. That's why they are doing this strike, is to put pressure on the companies to be able to make that negotiation, the union, right? So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Let me know what you guys are on about that. This is there's just so much that is happening. So let's go back to the Bible. Okay, let's see exactly what's happening here. Okay, we're seeing here that it says in verse 9, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, and the love of many shall grow cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, and the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. Right? When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, as Daniel 9:27, stand in the holy place. He says, whoso reads, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee to the mountains. That's currently West Bank area, Judea, Samaria, right? Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, which are nursing, right? But pray that your Sabbath, pray that your escape may not be in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, for such as was not since be the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. We can just go on and on and on about that verse and that scripture, and we can just continue to see exactly what Christ is pointing out here. He's talking about what is going to be the sign of his coming and the end of the days, right? Everything that is going to happen, and we're seeing a lot of it unfold right now. Now, also too, even Ezekiel 38, right? We're looking at that being, looming, right? We're seeing so much prophecy happening. Ezekiel 38 is around the corner, right? So many prophets talking about Ezekiel 30, like we're in Ezekiel 38, but we're not in Ezekiel 30, right? This is not that. We also have the destruction of Damascus. That is just, like that can happen at any moment. The destruction of Damascus. Then we're seeing exactly also, so when we talk about Ezekiel 38, we're seeing there needs to be a peace before there can be that war, okay? And we're not there yet. We're not at that point. So I just want to wrap this up, guys, and I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this live stream. This has been insane to just go through all of these various different things that are happening around the world, and I think we are just getting started. This is the birth pains, as Christ explains, right? This is the labor pains for the end of the world to come and for Christ to come, right? This is the labor pains for you would say, as it talks about in the Revelation, where the woman finally gives birth, but it's the labor pains of the earth, the end of the world that is coming until Christ comes to redeem us completely, to where the evil is finally taken care of, the evil is finally rid of. And I can't wait for that glorious day. So keep on working, living, striving to be an example to your friends, to your family, to your neighbors of who Christ is. I thank you so much, guys, for joining me on this one. Please like and subscribe and share the video. It's going to really help us spread the word and everything that we're doing here. And I really appreciate you guys for joining me today. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.